Greetings and welcome to another episode of Veterans of the Cedar Valley. We're going to have a little short episode today, and in the previous episodes we've featured veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and other conflicts. Today I'm tickled to have in the studio for my guest Pat Kinney, who is from the Sullivan Brothers Grout Museum, and Pat's here to talk about an event. Welcome, Pat.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Good. I'm glad to have you because, number one, I've always appreciated the veteran stories that you've done for your past issues of the Waterloo Courier, where you previously worked. And if you could, from that, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now.
Okay. Well, I've been at the Grout for about a year and a half. Was doing content development for a Korean War exhibit. We were doing an interactive map for World War II in Korea that's replaced, if you're familiar with the museum, we had a map of the world and showed the different conflicts. Now we have interactive screens developing those conflicts. In the last couple of months, I've taken on some more duties as far as development and fundraising and things like that, and promoting activities like we're going to talk about here.
Well, today we're going to talk about a project that you're going to have at the Sullivan Brothers Museum, and tell us a little bit about it, the name of it, and what it's about.
Yeah, it's called Honoring Fallen Heroes. We are showing a 30-minute documentary that was done by public television station WSIU in Carbondale on local Vietnam veteran Jim Hamlin. Jim's been on your show before. When Jim went to Vietnam, he took a 35mm movie camera with him. He took those and had those digitized, put together a clip for his class reunion from West High School, class of '65, a few years ago. Word got out that he had these films, and a head of an American Legion post in downstate Illinois told the folks at WSIU about it. Producer got a hold of him, and they made a documentary, which is what we're going to be showing at the museum on Thursday, October 10th.
Great. And Jim was a guest previously on the show, and like you said, he made an 8mm or a CD for his classmates about members of the West High class who had been killed in Vietnam, and Jim was in contact, I think, or PBS was in contact with Jim, and I think it was Ken Burns with PBS was going to try to include it in his documentaries, but they didn't do that. Is that the actual show? Is what Jim's show that we had, Vietnam, A Bad Deal?
Yeah, it got to be, it was picked up by a producer at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale at WSIU, and they brought Jim into Iowa Public Television Studios in Johnston and interviewed him for it, used his film footage from Vietnam, and made the documentary. It's been picked up by almost 100 public broadcasting stations around the country. Mm-hmm. It's been brokered through America Public Television. It has not been aired on Iowa Public Television yet that I know of. It was on IPTV World shortly before Memorial Day.
Okay, so at the Sullivan Brothers Museum, from start to finish, what is the project that you're inviting the public to come to?
Our project is a joint fundraiser with Cedar Valley Honor Flight. We are going to be showing the documentary, Jim's documentary, from 5 to 8 p.m. Thursday, October 10th at the Sullivan Brothers Museum. It's a half-hour clip. We're going to be showing continuous showings of it, and we will be having veterans. Veterans are invited. We'll be highlighting the veterans from Black Hawk County who were killed in Vietnam. We have photos and biographies of all of them. We only have so much space in the theater, so we'll have continuous showings, and there will be refreshments and stories from the veterans who were killed in Vietnam, and Jim will be there present to answer questions.
How many veterans in Black Hawk County were killed in Vietnam, do you know?
Depends on how you count where they enlisted, and you know, it's more than 30 of them.
Okay.
Including 5 from Jim's class, West High class in 1965, which my older brother was in too as well.
And did you have to search for these soldiers?
The list is there, but we got the photos and the biographies through the help of Tom Brickman, who was a Vietnam veteran from Janesville. He got interested when he saw the mobile Vietnam wall on display, and the National Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington had a Faces to Go with Names project. They wanted to get pictures of everybody that was on the wall. Tom and his daughter Sherry decided to take up that task for the Iowa soldiers, and after a lot of effort, he got every one of them.
Yeah, we had Tom on a show previously also, and it was an excellent show. Now, will the veterans who were killed in Vietnam from Black Hawk County, will that be on display at the
Yes.
Grout?
Yeah, it will be, and we'll have a booklet of all of them with brief biographies on all of them.
So it's not one of the kiosks that you press a button and you
They
get
are
the-
included in the kiosk, but we'll have a separate printed flyer with all of their names and
Okay.
biographies.
And then
pictures.
For people who aren't familiar about the Sullivan Brothers Grout Museum, are you charging for people to come in to see this?
We're seeking a free will donation. We cannot charge admission for a public television broadcast, but we are seeking a free will donation. All donations are divided equally between the museum and Cedar Valley Honor Flight. The Honor Flight folks will be there to assist us. They'll have people on staff to sign up veterans if they haven't been on an honor flight, and just, you know, supporting both organizations.
Great. And how did you connect with the honor flight? You just
I got the idea, Jim had a screening of the documentary at West High at Kirstenbrock Auditorium. And I was sitting next to an Honor Flight board member and a past major supporter, and I understood that they were having trouble actually raising money to support the flights. So, and Jim offered us the opportunity to have a screening at the museum, so I was talking to our director, Billy Bailey, and Billy thought it would be a good idea if we showed it as a joint fundraiser with Cedar Valley Honor Flight.
So Jim Hamlin will be there to be available to answer questions and also show a clip of his, what is exactly that Jim's going to do.
He's donated some artifacts to the museum. He might be bringing some other ones, but he'll be there out in the lobby outside the theater to answer questions and just meet folks. And actually, Tom Brickman will be there too because he's bringing chili.
Good. We have a 30-second clip that we'd like to show our viewers about Jim Hamlin's movie, Vietnam, A Bad Deal. And we'll be right back.
There were a lot of us that were new, that were going on our very first assignment that time. It was a bad deal.
Welcome back to the Veterans of the Cedar Valley. I'm Tom Haggerty. I'm hosting today this show about display at the Iowa Grout Museum, the Sullivan Brothers Museum. And I'm interviewing Pat Kinney from the museum. And Pat, we've been talking about a display that you're going to put on. What's the name of the display? When is it going to be held? And some of the details for people who would like to attend.
It's called Remembering Fallen Heroes. It's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. Thursday, October 10th at the Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum. We will be showing continuous showings of Jim's half-hour documentary, A Bad Deal. We will have refreshments, and Jim will be on hand to greet people and answer questions. Folks from Cedar Valley Honor Flight will be there to sign up veterans who want to go on honor flights because this is a joint fundraiser between the museum and Cedar Valley Honor Flight. We're seeking free will donations, and just hoping a lot of people come.
And if we were to attend, we will attend, will we be able to talk to Jim Hamlin?
Yes, yeah, Jim will be right there outside. We have some artifacts Jim's donated to the museum. He might be bringing some other ones, and he'll be there greeting folks and answer questions.
And again, how many Black Hawk County veterans were killed in Vietnam?
It depends on how you count. It depends on where they went to school and where they enlisted. but more than 30, including 2 missing in action.
Okay. And in the lobby of the Grout Museum, this is where the display will be, or?
We'll have a display of the veterans who were killed from Black Hawk County in Vietnam. We'll have their photos, we'll have their biographies. They'll be shown on a screen in the museum lobby, and we also will have a printed flyer that folks can purchase too.
And is there parking available for people at the Grout?
Yeah, there's parking along Park Avenue outside the museum's main entrance, which is now off Washington Street and West Park Avenue. There's also a parking lot in the back off South Street where disabled folks can enter, and also there's parking under the Highway 218 viaduct.
Okay, and again, there's no charge to attend this. It's a free will donation.
No charge, free will admission. The programs with the fallen Vietnam heroes will be available for purchase.
Great. Pat, I want to thank you again for your previous efforts at your previous employer, the Waterloo Courier. I was always impressed with your articles and the truthfulness in your articles, and especially the articles about veterans. And I want you to know that as a veteran, I appreciate what you did and what you continue to do at the Grout Museum. And thank you for being here, and I hope that the public again will turn out for your event. Again, give me the dates and the times.
It'll be 5 to 8 p.m. Thursday, October 10th at the Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum.
Okay. Thank you, Pat, for being here, and thank our viewers for viewing this, and we hope that you will come back for another show of the Veterans of the Cedar Valley. Thank you.